Hello everyone, this is a review of the differences primarily between these two Kerikit bags. They're both available from Kerikit. This is the standard size Joy. This one happens to be in blue steel, which is sold out in terms of its colour, but there are other colours in the Joy available, and this is the full size amber in the navy. So obviously I own both. There's been a lot of talk about, well, which one is the better of the two. I don't think there is one better than the other. I think they have their own purposes, hence why I have both of them. But I thought I'd go through the differences between them and a little bit about just sort of their capacity. I know there were some questions about laptops as well, so I'll kind of go over that as well. Whilst this isn't currently packed with a laptop, once I empty them out, I'll kind of do a laptop comparison as well as capacity comparison. So the first obvious difference between the two bags is their shape. This is more of a traditional backpack with the opening that comes down just like the bottom pockets. So it's got the straps on the side, and this is a unique design. So that's from the front. We've got the two sort of side things on here, but the uniqueness to this, I think, is that sort of slanted top, which actually when it's on your back makes quite a bit of difference to its profile, more than you think it will. I will do it on the body at the end just to give you a difference between the two as well, so you can see them. Capacity wise, they are very similar to each other. This has a U-shape opening rather than the traditional thing here. I have this patch at the moment. I have 3 children. I like the amber because I cannot overstuff it. I have the midi as well, which if I'm taking all 3 children, I tend to completely stuff it full, whereas I like to have a little bit of space in my bags. I have up until now, I had this one for a lot longer. I got this sometime in the beginning of last year. Used this as a work bag rather than a going out bag, although I have taken it out on trips with my 2 and did a video sometime last year actually on how I picked it up for a full day trip. I just find this really comfortable and probably of the two the slightly better work bag, but this does have its advantages as a work bag that this one doesn't, which we'll go through as well. So my pocket's pretty much the same on both. The beauty of Kerikit is a lot of her layouts are very, very similar. So if you are constantly changing bags, or you have someone else going into a different bag they're not quite used to, you can explain things, you know, in the same position. That really helps with my husband, because if I can say he's in the front pocket in the little thingy, he knows what I mean. So this one is the packed one. This is the empty one. So in this front pocket here, this one doesn't flap down as well as, let me take them at the same time. This one has more of an ability to flap down. This one is a little bit shorter, so it doesn't flap down as much. But as you can see, this one's got the card slots, little thing here. I've got the card slots, the pen holder, and the little elasticated pocket here. Used for lots of things in this little pocket. You got a pack of tissues in here at the moment, but sunglasses also fit. And I've actually got my own glasses on at the moment. I'll just show you that from a height perspective. Glasses will sit in that little pocket. Anti-back also fits in there quite nicely as well, so a few places. I don't use the card slots because I tend to have a wallet sitting in front. So I'm literally going to just transfer these over as we're talking so you can see the capacity of them. That goes in there like that. So that went down a lot further than it was on here, because they are just obviously height-wise a little bit different. I also have loose in there a hand cream. I have my headphones. I don't use AirPods, I use the connected ones. I'm old school. I haven't quite got into AirPods yet. So I use that little back bit of there, which actually is quite a nice little pocket. And then obviously the pen loop. So the pen was sitting fine there in terms of its height, not causing a problem. And likewise there. And actually, I'll just do the glasses as well, just to show you. Actually, they fit a little bit better in the Joy. Got a little bit more room back. So that's the comparison of the mummy pockets. This one has the additional front pocket here, which is great for slipping your phone in. There are less pockets on the back of the Joy than there are on the amber. So I tend to have my phone on the amber in the back pocket as opposed to in there, but you can easily, there was plenty of room, then it would have slipped in there as well if you prefer to. So that's the main difference on that. So the other difference is bottle pockets. The Joy has an elasticated insulated pocket, and this has this interesting shape that's slanted. Can be a pocket, can be a bottle pocket. I'm not using them as bottle pockets, and I think, and this applies to any of my backpacks, I prefer not to have the bottles visible. I tend to prefer them to be inside the bag. I have been known, if this is really overpacked for work, to stick a swell bottle in the side, just because it takes up less space on the inside, obviously. I haven't really used bottle pockets, these as bottle pockets, in the same way as perhaps I've been tempted to on the Joy. But they are insulated. I like keeping snacks in them as well, which is also helpful too. But on this side, as you can see, I've got a custom piece Jujube medical kit that's just sitting in there. Oh, and an array of snacks that were hiding in there. Not how many they managed to stay in there. But it's insulated, so it's a good place to keep snacks. So I've got lots in there, snacks as well. Let me just see, I've got one that's empty. Pocket's empty. Let me just take a bottle from in here. So you can sort of bring the zip up to make it into a bottle pocket and hold the bottle in place. And that's it on the Joy. So I'm going to leave that out there for a minute. Actually, I'll put that back where I had it. I want to show you the inside. So I wouldn't put these things in these pockets on the Joy. I would put them inside, so I'm going to leave them here for now until we go onto the inside of the bag. So obviously it's the same on both sides. The slight difference with the Joy is it has the additional D-ring at the bottom so that you can attach the yoga clip mats. The Amber doesn't have that. So going on to the back, as you can see, the straps are pretty much the same. For the same, we just check the same width. Actually, no, there is a slight difference. So the Joy is slightly thicker than the Amber. I know for the autumn winter release, the new Joys that are coming are going to have a slightly different back on them. So if you buy an older style, it would look like this. If you're buying a new style from autumn winter 2020, it will have a slip pocket and roller sleeve option. And I think some of the later ones that are on the website, post the Blue Steel one, have this version of the rollerboard with the little straps. So there's some updates coming to the Joy, and I think that's an amazing change to have this little secret pocket here and the slip pocket and the rollerboard as the Amber does. Its secret pocket is slightly different, but that is just going to be an amazing upgrade to the Joy. But at this moment in time, they both have the security pocket on the side here. I don't have anything in this one. This is the one where I stick my phone. Equally, you can stick your phone in this one. They're exactly the same. So they're both coming to here, here, and they both come to the same sort of width as the bag. So they're both the same, these sort of security pockets. So as my phone would in the Joy would go in the front slip pocket more likely, I'm going to actually put my medical kit in here. I do often keep it in the back here as well on the bigger one, because it's sometimes quicker and easier to get to it than having to go inside the bag. But I did have that spare pocket today, so I left it in there. So the difference to this one, obviously you've got the rollerboard, which were different, and then the Amber has this big long pocket here. So the new Joy will have a cross slip pocket that's not sealed at the top, but have a zip at the bottom to create into a rollerboard thing. And in the Amber, I like to keep in that back pocket things that are flat and soft, because obviously that's on your back. That's my scarf, my shawl, and then I have the bag that comes with it, the multi-use bag in case you never knew you might need something. And then I have my pack of masks. Now I don't think they're going to fit in the back of that Joy in there. I might have to put them on the inside. Let's just see. No, I don't, because they pretty much go the width of the bag, so that's going to have to go on the inside as well. If they Kerikit on the back. Just zip that up for a second. I think I'm flying out. I'm just going to tie them down. At the bottom. As you can see, the amber is slightly deeper. This is quite a by about that much. I'll put a line across by that much. Now this is a standard joy, so the joys going forward are going to be the XL joy, which has got a slightly deeper base to it. So whilst it's only like a centimetre or so taller, it's got a couple more centimetres in terms of its depth, so it's going to be more like the amber. And the reason for that, also both bags have the 4 feet as well. The reason for that is if I hold the amber up, it's a very sturdy, straight bag. Now obviously this isn't packed at the moment, but the joy has a slight tendency to tip forward, and that gets worse the more you put in the front and the way you laid in the bag. You have to be quite careful, particularly when I use it as a work bag, as to how you unpack and unpack it, particularly with a laptop in the sleeve. It tended to kind of go very, very quickly if you took it out in the wrong order. But that's because the laptops obviously are quite heavy, and it just exaggerated that sort of leaning forward for me. But I've worked that out and it doesn't bother me anymore. Okay, so onto the inside. Just making sure I try and keep these in the shot where I keep moving them around. Okay. As you can see, height-wise, there's a slight height to this. So additionally, on this bag on the outside, this one has a little pocket here. My car keys tend to fit in there, so I find that a better access to get there and have my car keys in that little pocket. But you could use it for antibacterial hand gel or something else you want to grab quickly. If you have keyless entry to your car, you can pretty much leave it in there. I don't have keyless anymore because my car used to keep opening itself from the driveway, so I got really scared of those, and I've gone back to the old school of having to turn a key because that really, I didn't like that at all. So onto the inside, obviously we access this bag, both have double zippers. They're both on the side here, so double zippers. This one goes down to bottle pocket. This one is a U-shape opening, or it's slightly open here anyway. So this, I can flap down. I've got things obviously in that front pocket, but I can get it reasonably to open like that and kind of relatively stay open. Amber doesn't like to do that as much, and everyone sort of says the more you break the bag in, the more likely it's going to stay, and it is starting to. I've been using this bag quite a lot because I absolutely love it, but one of the tricks is to kind of slightly roll that and put it through the roll thing if you need to be in it more than just for a few seconds, and that's going to annoy you, obviously, like for packing or unpacking, or if you set it down somewhere. So that's something slightly different for today, because I normally go with a Be Cool in my bag with snacks and stuff in it and extra drinks, and or that or sort of like snacky bags. But I actually really like, and I have quite a few of these snacks. I haven't used them for ages. I don't know why. I bought just a more new pink one, and I just find particularly the Zoli Sumo one, because my kids are much older, 3, 6 and 9, the sort of smaller snack sacks don't really work for them, and I'm carrying kind of bigger and bigger snack bags all in my thing, but not necessarily filling it up. So I'm gonna try this for this weekend, going out to sort of see whether that makes a difference. But that fits. That was just sitting kind of pretty much there on its own, and from a depth perspective that would quite easily fit in the Joy as well. I'll leave these here for a minute. So I normally carry a sort of small pouch with my stuff in it, of varying descriptions, currently using a Lily Jade small, but that doesn't fit in this side pocket here. For ones that do fit in the pocket, if you want them like that to be on the outside, is the Bumpkin or the Travel Wise smalls fit in the side pocket, and the 12 little small pouch from the Trio set also fit in that side pocket if you want to do that, or they fit in there as well. And actually the small Lily, if you would have a purse in there, the small Lily Jade will fit in that front pocket. And obviously because that one's big, it's even more in there, so it does kind of go in. Probably wouldn't want to have the leash on it though when you do it, because then you've got to fiddle with the leash. put that quite easily. Oh, I've got a mark on my bag. Quite a fix in there. So you've got some options as to where you put that and what sort of size, but that's probably the biggest one I would use anyway. So I've got that in there. And in the bottom of the bag, just sitting loose in here, I have a large be organised with a change of clothes, a spare nappy, just in case I really do need to do an emergency, put a nappy on her, and a wet bag and stuff. There. And then just using the slip pocket at the back, I've got the wipes case as well. So I've got one inside my large be organised as well, but I keep a separate one just in case for other sticky messes that we might encounter. And on the Amber, only these two front pockets are insulated on the inside. So I have a sippy cup in that one because I'm not using a Be Cool. And I have to share 500 swirl bottle style. Now if I put that large Be Organised back in the bottom, with the Amber you can quite easily then put a Be Cool or a fuel cell. But I like the Be Cool because it's got a slightly more narrower profile than a fuel cell does, and it actually is insulated and actually works in its desired purpose. And I could probably still get my tower in there as well, actually. Can we get, yeah, that goes back in there. Now they say not to put the swirl bottles on the front of the bag. Now it depends on how you've got it back packed. I find the 500 is just about bearable if it's not overly stuffed, to not get that funny profile. I think this is the 12 ounce. Anything bigger than that and then you will start to see it through that flap, so just bear that in mind. But the 12 ounce one will go in the front insulated pocket, but because they're insulated you don't really know what pocket you put them in. See, that one I probably would care about, and that's the Cool. So there we go. So I have quite a lot of stuff to get into my joy over here. Just make sure I've got everything out. Oh, and in this side pocket I just have a collapsible bowl and reusable straws and a little snack bag to put the dirty ones in. If we do go out and we do get something to drink, I really don't want my kids putting their mouths on bottles or anything. If we buy anything, I just prefer to have my own with me at the moment. Not that I haven't been carrying them for years anyway, but I think I have everything out of the Amber now. So I'm going to put her back there slightly and go on to the Joy. So we'll pack the front pocket. I'm going to do the same with the large Be Organised on the bottom. Now bearing in mind the XL does have a little bit more depth, that will solve that crunching. It's currently a little bit squashed up, and I think that 2 or 3 centimetre difference in the XL will make the huge difference for that lying flat. Now this one does have the big difference, obviously has the 2 front pockets, the 2 side pockets, different sizes. None of them are insulated on the inside of the Joy, only these outside pockets are. It also has a zip pocket across the back, and it has the key leash at the top there, and this is the pocket here that's hanging down just in the way, so I'm just going to hold that back for a second. So in this little slip pocket I'm going to put that. I might put the restauranty ones in that zip pocket. Actually, got my masks to go back in. That goes there, that's sticking up. I'm also going to get my Lily Jade pouch in there, I hope. So I'm going to take the wipes out. Squish that sort of slime. Just so my husband can see what's in them. Put in the back. I'm going to put this one in here. Now, the Joy, unlike the Amber, when you have something on the pocket on this side, you still can access and put stuff into this pocket. With the Joy, I find that is way harder. Now, I've just put that bottle in there. There is no way that spar bottle is going to go in. So at the moment, I'm going to put it on this side. I think I'm going to get a bit tight on the inside. So I've got that on the bottom. Scarf on the bottom too. I've got my spare snaps here that I should actually manage to leave for a change. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put the wipes case on the front pocket. I'll just show you in a minute. wipes, easy access on the front pocket. Got snacks down here, got a sippy cup on this side, but I've got the swell bottle on the outside of this bag. Got the things that are kind of in the back and floating around in there. Scarf and clothes are on the bottom. Now in the amber, all the only thing I had was that sitting inside. So capacity wise, they are very similar. Whilst they're in slightly different positions, everything from there has gone into there. And just because I did the whole be cool thing in here, and this is what I do for work for lunch as well, so I know this fits. The be cool also fits in there as well and does up. So, you know, they're comparable. I think it really is a style difference, packing style difference as well, with these two bags. So let me just get that out and do that. So I'm going to quickly do the laptop comparison for you as well. It's all out of the way so you can see properly. Now my laptop is a MacBook Pro. It is a 13-inch MacBook Pro. I'm going to take my little dongle out in case that's a problem. It physically is, its length is 12.5 inches long, and its width is 9 inches wide, because obviously I know they say the inch depends on which version. 13 inches isn't actually 13 inches because it's 12.5. But I tend to put it in the sleeve in here on its own. I do have a case that fits in there as well, but because when you start packing everything else in, I find it's better. Now, as you can see, there is not a lot of spare room in this bag. It's coming literally, I think you would get another inch. There's about another inch. So something that was measuring 13.5 inches high would still get in this back sleeve. And you've probably got half an inch extra in terms of width. So this is currently 9. Something that's 9.5 inches wide would also fit in that sleeve. Take it out of the sleeve. It doesn't make a lot of difference. There's probably, maybe you can get another half an inch in there. But that's the only place it will go on the Joy anyway. Amber. This one doesn't have the laptop sleeves, but the autumn, winter and the slightly newer stocked ones do have a laptop sleeve on the back like the Joy does. My one doesn't. But putting it inside, I can, height wise, I can get 1.5 inches more. So that's 12.5, so 13.5 inches high. Not a lot, I wouldn't say even half an inch. That's kind of right to each the piping on both sides. So that's 9 inches wide. The difference with the Amber, of course, is you can put it in the back sleeve. And this is the biggest laptop you're going to get in this sleeve. I believe me. And it has taken a few goes. The first time I tried to do it, really struggled. But as the leather softened, I found that easier. Now, if I pull that shut, again, width-wise, height-wise, that is the absolute maximum in the back sleeve. And this is padded, so this can go on your back. It's not overly uncomfortable. But I can actually feel it's no different to being in the Joy, to be honest, because you haven't got much between you there anyway. This is when I can't get it out my bag. Yeah, did. Okay, so I'm going to do some quick on the bodies for you as well, just so that you can see how they look visually different. But as I say, they really, it's packing style preference, colour. They do come in very different colours. This is a very smooth leather that Kerry uses on her Joys. So the colouring of the Joy is different to the Amber. So whilst they both come in black, some of the other colours are either in an Amber or they're in a Joy. So I hope that was useful. I'll do the on bodies now, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so to the on body shots. This is the Joy, this is the Amber again. I'm going to start with the Joy. Put this one on. Just for reference, I'm 5'6" and I'm about 60 kilos. Size 10 UK. I'm not sure what all that all translates to around the world, but this is the Joy. And this is probably the position I find it the most comfortable. And as I say, I tend to use this as a work bag So I carry really, really heavy amounts in this one, and I find it really comfortable. And this is the amber. Now both of these are dedicated backpacks. Don't have any other option that comes with the bag. They have obviously both have D-rings to put on the pushchair, but some people like the amber, particularly the midi, to add a shoulder strap, just so if you want to grab it, sling it over your shoulder, if you're getting in and out of a car or something, or some other reason. And I do like to do it, so I am a user of it. Because the amber has that shape, it actually sits quite nicely. You can do it on the Joy. I haven't seen anyone else do it, and I tend not to do it on my Joy, just because the reason why I use the Joy. But just to show you, it is possible. But the Joy is slightly got that handle sort of sticks more in the way than it does on the amber. But you can do it that way as well. So I hope that's helped in your decision. They are personal preference. Capacity wise, they're very similar, and as I say, this is a standard Joy, and going forward the depth of this is going to be slightly bigger, so that will kind of equalise it even more to the amber. So I hope that helps, and thanks for watching.